Late at night, after getting home from work, I turned on my computer, finally ready to relax. A notification popped up in the bottom right corner, an email from something called the Impersonator test software. I clicked it. A black and white photo appeared. The woman in the picture had an unnaturally wide, torn smile that almost reached her ears, and her eyes were completely lifeless.
Software. If you think this picture looks normal, please exit the test immediately. If you find this picture disturbing, then continue with the next part.
Impersonator test software. My eyes lit up. Oh, a horror minigame. Not bad. Kind of exciting. I set my cola down and clicked download. The software wasn't large, just a couple dozen files. I opened it and another black and white photo filled the screen. This one startled me. The girl's face looked extremely strange. Eyes far apart and her mouth stretched open like a grinning monkey.
Software. If you think this image looks normal, we suggest you exit the test. If you think it is abnormal or makes you uncomfortable, please continue.
2 buttons popped up, continue and exit. I stared at the creepy photo, felt an instant wave of discomfort, and clicked continue without hesitation. 2 new photos appeared and along with another prompt.
Software. Please click the one you think is the impersonator.
One was a smiling middle-aged man. The other was a little boy with a stiff, unsettling expression, like his face had been assembled from mismatched parts. He looked like a wooden puppet. No way a normal person looks this stiff. If he's human, I'll eat my keyboard. I clicked the boy. More rounds followed. A long-faced man, a strange-looking middle-aged man, vacant eyes, stiff expressions, mouths that didn't look human. I got every round right until the final one. The moment the image loaded, I yelped, "It's not Sam, my neighbor?" 2 photos appeared again. A normal-looking woman and Sam. In the picture, his eyes were wide and blank. One hand pointed at the bridge of his own nose. His lips twisted in a chilling, distorted smile. What the hell? Isn't this illegal photo use? I grumbled and clicked his picture. After so many rounds, I was confident he wasn't human. Not to this software, at least. Click. Mouse made a crisp sound. The screen froze. And then a question appeared.
Software. Are you still alive? Yes. No.
What kind of stupid question is that? If I'm not alive, who's clicking your buttons? I clicked yes, now convinced the whole thing was just some dumb prank. The screen froze again, and then new, blood-red text appeared slowly.
Software. Congratulations, you have passed the test. We will come pick you up within a week. Until then, do not speak, do not open your door, do not answer any calls. Do not let them know you've discovered their abnormalities. If you receive no email from us after a week, then you're on your own.
The monitor flickered. Buzz. My computer screen started flickering violently, then suddenly went blue. Blue screen. Great. This software definitely had a virus. I shut down the computer, about to reboot it. Someone was at the door. I got up, about to ask who it was, but then remembered the warning on the screen. My heart hesitated. Barefoot, I tiptoed to the door and peered through the peephole. It was Sam. My neighbor, Sam, standing right outside. The longer I looked, the more wrong it felt. His expression was completely different from usual. Blank eyes, a stiff, twisted smile. This This was exactly like the photo. A chill shot down my spine. Sam hammered on the door, the sound harsh, metallic, like gears grinding. I could feel the door frame shake. My gaze darted around, looking for anything I could use as a weapon. Just then, a voice came from next door. Sam turned toward the sound, a strange, unnatural smile curling his lips. Auntie Rose froze at the sight of him, her steps halting in fear. She muttered something and quickly walked away. Through the peephole, Sam watched her leave and then suddenly snapped his head back toward my door. He leaned forward, pressing his wide, unblinking eyes right up to the peephole. Shit, I stumbled back, terrified. I dragged the shoe cabinet over, bracing it against the door, then ran back to check my computer for clues. Once in my room, I locked the door. The computer rebooted normally. The blue screen was gone. The Impersonator test software vanished as if it had never existed. Sam seemed to have his eyes on me. What was scarier is he lived next door, and from memory, he hadn't always been like this. When did he become like this, or had he always been like this? My phone buzzed. An unknown number. I remembered the software's warning. Don't answer calls. I didn't. I muted it, letting it buzz on its own. I crawled under the blanket. Everyone knows a blanket can block all kinds of weird intrusions. The warmth eased my fear. My racing heart slowed until nature called. I glanced at the door. There was a shadow creeping through the gap. Someone was waiting outside. I froze, forcing myself to hold it in. Eventually, I drifted into uneasy sleep. My alarm rang. I woke up, groggy, surprised I had slept despite the danger. My screen was filled with missed calls, 99 in total, from midnight until 6 a.m. I opened the door a crack, scanned the empty apartment, and breathed a relief until my eye caught Sam. He stood expressionless behind the door, staring with hollow eyes. "Finally, you have arrived." Sam gave a stiff smile and grabbed my arm. I said, "Sam, what do you want? Let go. I'm going to be late for work." Sam paused, as if thinking, then actually let go. "Goodbye, Sam." I didn't linger, sprinting out of there. At the office, I barely sat down when a hand landed on my shoulder. I turned. It was Lily, a colleague and good friend. "You scared me! What's wrong with you today?" Nothing. Just a weird morning. Normally, I could breeze through the morning, but today my mind was full of imposters. I decided to search online. What is an imposter? Do they exist? Can they harm people? I scrolled through countless results. Nothing. No record. No trace. Impossible. Even the tiniest rumor would leave a footprint online. Had someone erased all evidence? Just then, I heard Lily gasp nearby.
Damn it, an imposter. Not far away, the supervisor hurried over to Lily's desk and slammed her computer shut. "What are you doing during work hours? Come with me." He grabbed Lily and walked her out of the office. Soon it was finally time to get off work. Before heading home, I asked Lily, "What did the supervisor tell you?" "When I was slacking this morning, a document suddenly popped up, a software called Impersonator test. My hand slipped and I downloaded it. It looked like a little game about identifying some creature called an imposter. I didn't think of anything of it. But then the supervisor's picture appeared on the screen. That photo was terrifying. It scared me so much I screamed, so he came over." "So what did he want when he took you out?" "He scolded me for a while, then suddenly laughed and just told me not to slack off at work. That's all." Her words made my heart drop. The supervisor? He must be an imposter too. And worse, Lily had just exposed that she knew about them. By the time I got home, the sky was already dark. I had no appetite, so I just made instant noodles and sat in front of my computer.
My fingers typed rapidly, searching desperately for any trace of imposters online. Finally, on an old forgotten forum, I found a long post. Imposters first appeared in the early 20th century. They like observing humans in secret, and once they completely understand a person's behavior, they attempt to replace them. At least, that is my personal speculation. January 2124. Imposters seem to exist in an unstable, energy-like form. They observe from the dark. February 2124. After my investigation, I think I found one. March 2124. Imposters won't act before they are discovered. If one has already noticed you, hide at home, lock all doors and windows, and keep a weapon close. June 2124. I think someone around me is an imposter. His behavior is strange, like a clumsy robot. July 2124. He was taken away by officials. August 2124. Imposters' movement are chaotic. They often can't control their facial expressions. Their speech lacks logic. Because they can't control their limbs well, they prefer to crawl. September 2124. I think an official organization is now monitoring me. October 2124. This entry has been deleted. Part of the post was clearly removed. After scrolling down, the next update wasn't until half a year later. March 2125. I've learned a lot. Here is what I can share. First-generation imposters, origins unknown, but identifying them is simple. Their movements and language don't match normal humans. Imposters peel off a human skin using a special method, then climb inside and sew themselves in. Every imposter has a black seam on their back. If you see someone like this, run. My heart skipped a beat. I thought of Lily. After hesitating, I called Lily. Hey, Lily, are you home yet? Yeah, I'm eating. Why? Lock your door. I have something to tell you. What thing? Why so mysterious? She grumbled, but she still went to lock the door. While she walked toward the door, my eyes returned to the screen. April 2125. According to internal sources, a second generation of imposters has appeared. Their speech and movement now appear almost perfectly normal, except their expressions are sometimes stiff. They may already be mixed among us. A knocking sound came through Lily's phone. Who is it? Don't open the door! I yelled, but she had already put the phone down. Her hand touched the doorknob. I heard the door open. Then Lily's surprised voice. Supervisor, what are you doing here so late? The door shut, followed by Lily's muffled gasp. What are you doing? I hung up immediately, afraid the supervisor would hear me. Lily. She was finished. If only I had warned her earlier. My eyes went back to the post. I scrolled again. Another half-year jump. September 2125. The third generation of imposters has emerged. Their key feature is still the black seam on their back. They are now almost indistinguishable from humans. They possess the host's memories, habits. They may already be living among us without anyone noticing. October 2125. I have confirmed that they have begun large-scale infiltration. To whoever finds this post, beware of the people around you, no matter what happens. Good luck. My eyes moved downward. The post was nearly at its end. In that instant, a massive surge of fear rushed through my chest. Could the original poster have been discovered by the imposters and silenced? I refreshed the web page. When it loaded again, all of the previous content had been erased. I let go of the mouse. My arms dropped weakly to my sides as I stared blankly at the ceiling. Sam next door. Lily. The company supervisor. Who could I still trust? A powerful premonition struck me. They might come for me tonight. Earlier today, I had revealed a bit about the imposters to Lily. If a third-generation imposter had already replaced her, then it would know that I knew, and it would come for me. But running outside now would be even worse. Who knew how many imposters were out there lurking, watching, waiting? I looked around the room. The bright lights pushed away a little of the fear. Then I remembered. Last year, I bought a wild boar bristle weapon. I originally bought it for home defense in case of burglars, and because I had no real weapon to use. Looks like it was finally time to put it to use. I reached under the bed, rummaging until I pulled out the long boar bristle spear. I hid it under my blanket, turned off the lights, and lay down. The night deepened. I forced myself to lie there for 4 or 5 hours. Eventually, drowsiness crept in. My eyelids fluttered. Then a sound came from the door, wiping away every trace of sleep. Are they here? I gripped the boar bristle tightly, eyes fixed on the doorway. Through the faint light outside, I could see a shadow leaning into the room. It pushed the door open. Then it stepped inside, walked to my bedside, and stood there silently staring at me while I pretended to sleep. As if unable to hold back any longer, it raised both hands and lunged toward me. Perfect timing, I shouted, yanked up the boar bristle, and swung. The figure collapsed to the ground. In the darkness, I felt warm droplets splatter across my face. I slapped on the bedside lamp. Lily lay on the ground, her face twisted in pain, both hands clutching the long blood-stained bristle stuck in her chest. "Jack, it's me! Are you insane?" I pulled the bristle out and stabbed downward again. Within a minute, Lily went completely still. Her body shriveled rapidly as if deflating. These monsters caused this. I forced myself to stay calm, stuffed Lily's dried-up body into a bag. As I wrapped her up, I noticed a long black line across her back. A black line. Right. The post had mentioned it. Humans parasitized by the imposters carried a black line on their back. If I could see someone's back, I could tell whether they were human. But who would show their back in daylight range? Then it hit me. The water park. It was summer. People wore less clothing there. I could observe them and determine who was normal. I put a fruit bag from the cabinet into my pocket. The long bristle was too big to carry outside, so I left it behind. Moving cautiously, I approached the door and looked through the peephole. I nearly jumped in fright. Auntie Rose was standing perfectly still outside my door. She didn't speak, just grinned widely, her mouth stretched unnaturally. Her eyeballs twitched and rolled in strange directions. Damn it, another imposter. I raised my knife and struck before the creature could react.
Jack, what are you doing?
A hoarse, low voice sounded behind me. Sam had appeared without me noticing. Fear shot through me, but in the next second, that fear twisted into pure rage. Sam, I was just about to come find you. Say. I lifted the knife and walked toward him in long strides. He froze, his mouth twitching unnaturally. What do you want from me? To send you off. I stabbed him straight through. Don't struggle. Creatures like you don't deserve to live. Sam was the last one. I killed him. And as he lay dying, he stared straight into my eyes and whispered,
"You can't escape, not from them."
Then he stopped breathing. Something inside me snapped at that moment. I needed proof that real humans still existed. Then I remembered the water park. People there always exposed the back of their necks. If I could just check if there were stitch marks, I would know who was real. I would know who wasn't. So I ran. I ran all the way to the water park. And when I arrived, sure enough, the world had already been overtaken by imposters. Everywhere, all of them were imposters. Every neck was stitched, every person replaced. This world was finished. I had to kill them. All of them must be eliminated. These things, they're not human. Believe me, I'm not killing people. I'm not insane. You have to believe me. This world, it's already been taken over. Then everything went dark. When I opened my eyes again, I was in a prison cell. I shouted at the officers, "Believe me, they're not human!"
Sir, according to what we've learned, this suspect started acting insane after playing a certain online game. Since then, he began imagining the people around him as those Great One's creatures and started attacking them. He even killed his closest co-worker, then peeled off an entire piece of skin.
Acute psychosis?
Keep him locked up for now. Once his emotions stabilized, we'll question him again about what happened.
Yes, sir.